one of the things that I want to talk about is just like the music is really awesome. Like they did a good job. It's well done. It's got a good beat to it. The only thing is that not everybody wants to listen to a 1.5 minute song all the time, you know, right. Like I just went to a Post Malone concert and I listened to him a few times before the concert because I was like, you know what, I want to really, you know, maybe get to know the words better and just I'm getting excited about it. But I most likely probably won't play Post Malone for another couple of weeks. You know, I'll probably want to take a little bit off. Right. Yeah. Not all of us like a song enough to listen to it daily or weekly. And I think your listener, being at it, that it's 1 minute and 20 seconds, it's much, much, much longer than a jingle that's for like a cartoon when we were growing up and we were watching shows, Step by Step. What is that other one? Friends. When we would watch different shows, Yogi Bear. The music was never 1 minute and 20 seconds. It could have been 30 seconds, 15. 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 seconds, but it's probably not going to be a minute and a half. And
I think I do have a shorter version too. So I could easily, or we could even just cut it way down.
Yeah. Well,
I'm definitely open to that. I agreed when I haven't listened to it in forever. Right. And so I was thinking the same thing as I'm listening to. I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit long.
It's a little bit long. I wonder what our listener was thinking when we were doing this. I'm just curious if the listener was like, is Adam playing us a song right now? Or is he playing Nate Bailey's podcast? Because this sounds like a song.
I have gotten a ton of compliments on it, but also I do think you're right. Like, would you want to listen to that every single time? The first time you hear it, you're like, oh, it's kind of cool. But
yeah, it is. It is actually really cool. Yeah, I think it's badass. Well, let's push play and hear how you're coming in with it.
With Hodgman County.
Okay. First and foremost, your mic use sounds amazing. Your mic use sounds really, really good. You got a great mic. You're right on it, and it is clear as day. So highly want to mention that I love the sound quality of this podcast already.
Health Center in Kansas, and appreciate you coming here today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Nate. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be talking with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nate, one thing that I would say about like just speeding up the episode a bit, and you probably noticed me doing this with you today. I did say welcome to the show, but I want to be real cautious. What I try to do on mine is I try to get the listener hooked and excited about whatever they're going to get from the podcast as fast as possible. So I don't really give like a big background. I did say that what your podcast name was. I said that your bio was in the show notes. Your podcast is in the show notes. But instead of kind of like being slow to start, I just said, I've got another host on. It's going to be a coaching call. This is one of your favorite things to listen to because he's going to ask the questions that you want to know. And so my thinking as I started today's episode with you is, how do I hook my audience? Like my audience, my listener has no idea what they're going to get out of this episode because they're most likely not reading the show notes before they listen. A couple people do that, but most of them are just going not skipping, but going from episode to episode in chronological order. And I want to say as soon as possible, what are you going to get out of this episode? Why should you listen? What's in it for me? Everyone's favorite radio station. And of course, my listeners' favorite radio station, besides the podcast on podcasting, is WII-FM. What's in it for me? They want to know what's in it for them. And when they know what's in it for them, they're going to be hooked. They're going to stay. They're going to say, all right, Adam's going to deliver something that I want. Now I can listen in. You didn't do that. And it's been at like 1 minute and 48. And so it's kind of like you had that 1 minute and 20 of music and then another, like, let's say 20-ish seconds of kind of getting there, but not ever giving me a big promise. I want you to tell your listener the big promise right in the beginning so that they know why they should stay here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That'll keep people listening.